What's going on, everyone? Snakebite here. Today we're going to be talking about how you choose your sensitivity and a couple variables that you need to consider. Now, I don't want this video to run super long by any means. We released a video back in 2016 or 2017 called How to Always Be Up First Shot. I'm going to have AO link that for you guys in the description, maybe somewhere in the video, I don't know. It goes into a little bit better detail, but it's still a question I get asked a lot. So I just want to talk about a couple variables for you guys to consider. Obviously, this is still on Halo 5. When Infinite is out, we will go ahead and release a whole new video. All right, so moving on to the 4 variables to consider. The first variable to consider, and honestly, I would write this down, as nerdy as that kind of sounds. I've done it before. I've done it plenty of times. Write this down, write down what I'm talking about, and then rank what you value over the other. So for me, in no order, my 4 variables would be shot, movement, awareness, and nade placement. Now, your shot is self-explanatory. I just want to be able to win every crucial 1v1 that I'm in. If I'm in a 1v1 and it's 49-49, I need to be able to win the gunfight. And it's really that simple for me when it comes to the shot. The more shots you hit, the more kills you're going to get. The more kills you get, the more valuable you are to a team. And, you know, obviously, you bring other values to a team with communication and objective work, but you need to be able to hold your own in the slaying category, and having a good shot and picking up your kills is really step number 1. Now, for Halo 5, of course, number 2 is your movement. Bottom line for me, online, I've always been a 4 sensitivity player. I usually go 3 look excel. On LAN, I'm 6 look sensitivity. On 1 excel, LAN it's completely different because you're playing like consistent server. Online, obviously, you have different servers every single game. But really simply put, you need to be able to hit your movement. You need to be able to make your jumps. When I'm on a slow sensitivity, I feel very cemented to the ground, if that makes any sense. I'm sure other people probably will relate. If I'm at something as simple as this, where if someone's chasing me down Pink Street and I need to jump up this way, I like to spring jump it. But if I'm on 3 cents and someone's shooting me and I'm sprinting and I'm running this way, I just feel like I literally can't even do this. Like, I can't turn something as small as that. I feel like I can't turn that little to be able to make the jump. Obviously, I missed it that time, but you get the point, right? Now, for the third variable that I like to focus on, being your awareness, this is going to change for different people. What I mean by that is, it very simply put, different people have different play styles, therefore your awareness is going to look and appear different on your screen. If you're someone like myself who likes to play very quick, very aggressive, I am constantly evaluating the map and talking to my teammates and communicating, and it's a very hectic, fast-paced playstyle. The reason 4 is usually the lowest I'll ever go is because I need to be able to constantly move my reticle and constantly look around. What I mean by that is, let's take this example. I'm sitting car 3, I want to make it to blue 2. Now, because I'm an aggressive player, and let's say I think that they're blue 1, okay, in this situation. Because I'm an aggressive player, I'm really going to be basic here. I'm just going to sprint and thrust slide, right? Now, what I want you to pay attention to when I did that is, as soon as I thrust slid there, I looked out this way. The reason I looked out this way is because I'm checking spawn points. I'm checking bottom red, top red. I'm looking bottom middle, make sure no one got out. And at the same time that I'm doing that, maybe AO can hit us with replay or something. At the same time that I'm doing this, I'm able to turn back over to blue, because the most likely spot they're going to jump up is this clamber right here. So I'm almost preparing to take 2 fights at once. If I go this way and see someone's bottom mid, I could challenge, I could back down, I could sprint back to car. But if I'm on 3 sensitivity here, the angle that I'm more likely to take is to, and they're spawning blue 1, is I'm going to rotate over to blue bubble, hold the bubble, look here, and then rotate over here. Now, that's not to say if you're on 3 sensitivity that you can't make the same play I make when I'm on 4, or even when I'm on LAN, I'm on 6. But it's a personal preference thing, and it's about what you feel like you can do and what you feel like your awareness is able to be, depending on the sensitivity that you're on. Same situation here. I've done it plenty of times. Obviously, you know, we're going on 6 years now of this game, so Not really giving away any secrets here, but at the start of the game, I usually roll out pink side. I'll look over, P1, see if anyone's going up the street. And then I'm not just like sitting here doing this. I usually, while I'm looking this way, look this way. And I need to be able to move my reticle to take a fight, no matter what. It could be someone rolling bottom mid, it could be someone going top mid, it could be someone challenging me pink. No matter what the situation is, because of my playstyle, I need to be able to basically snap my reticle over. For me, if I'm on 3 sensitivity, or let's call it like 3-3 or 3-4 like other people, I don't feel like I could take this fight while taking this fight. I hope that makes sense to people. That's why 4 is the lowest I tend to go. I have my bad days where I feel like I can't shoot, and I'll go to 3 because what's variable number 1 that I need to do? I need to hit all my shots. But 4, for the most part, if I get a proper warm-up, is the lowest for me because of my playstyle. So really, just so much of it is developing in the player you want to be and figuring out your variables and your steps to really mastering your game. Now, this last variable, I don't want you to overly focus on because I think the first 3 variables are by far the most important thing to focus on. And I think that this last variable is something you can work on, but it's grenade placement. I use my grenades as spot checkers, basically. Obviously, I go for the average kill. If someone's pushing me pink street, I want to land a nade there and, get an easy kill. But overall, I use my nade as spot checkers. The nade placement is about being able to move your reticle to the right position quick enough to throw your nade and then do what you want to do beside that, right? Nades are such a crucial part of Halo. If you are ignoring it completely, you probably are going to struggle to get into the champion or professional level of Halo 5. All that basically means, by the way, is just don't ignore the fact that you might be struggling with your grenade placements. I can't tell you how many POVs I've seen throughout the years of Halo 5 where they try to throw a nade somewhere and it just doesn't go anywhere that they're intending. And now look, is that going to happen? Absolutely, it's going to happen. The same way you will lose a 1v1 that you don't want to lose. It's going to happen. The more you play, the more it's a possibility. But overall, they're just really basic nades you need to be able to throw. Let's use this camo as an example. The score is 30-30. Crucial camo's up. A guy's going to drop off the pink street here. You need to be on a good sensitivity to be able to line up a grenade, throw it, have him land on it. That probably wasn't even the best nade, but you get the point, right? Actually, that was a pretty good nade because that's where he would most likely land. If you're going to try to go play on 10 sensitivity, I don't even know if it would work for me or not because of how much Halo I've played. But if you're on 10 sensitivity here, you're going out this way. Camo's up. You try to throw it. Not as good of a nade. I don't know if you could tell it or not. The first nade lands like here. The second nade lands here, right? So even that, just a little small difference. You might want to play on a really quick sensitivity, but if your nade placement's really, really bad, it's either just something you need to work on if you feel like your shot isn't suffering playing on a quick sensitivity. And by the way, your shot can suffer playing on a slow sensitivity in Halo 5. If you go to like 2.5, which was a really popular sense back in 2016, with how quickly people started playing in 2018, it became a very difficult sense to play because look how slow this is, man. Let me show you real quick. I'm gonna go P3. I'm looking this way. They're car 3. Look at how slow this is. Look at this. Oh, I don't know. For me, I could feel the rust on my controller. You know what I mean? Now, some people are just absolutely ridiculous, aka Royal 2, and he can play a slow sensitivity. And really, when I watch his gameplay, he plays slower than I do. Obviously, it's just our team dynamic. But when he wants to speed it up, I don't really notice him struggle with some of the stuff I struggle with a slow sensitivity. But I think that's just all about mastering what feels most comfortable to you. Last point to make, because I know someone has asked this question before or has asked it many times. I do not play with dead zones on Halo 5. Dead zones to me are all about having controller drift and making sure your aimer doesn't move on its own or your Spartan doesn't move on its own. On Halo 3, I use dead zones for that very reason because of the controller drift. Now, I don't know where that stands with other professional players, but I would always suggest going 0-0, making sure your Spartan doesn't move at all on the controller that you're using at the time. And if it does have a drift, you could start to obviously move those numbers up. But if it doesn't, try to just find a sensitivity that works for you. And then if you want to start messing with it after the fact, feel free. That's going to be the end of the video. I hope that some find this useful. Obviously, sensitivity is something that is talked about time and time again. So although this might not be the most in-depth look at how to choose a sensitivity, I do think that it can be very useful if you just look at the variables and try to just not make it too complicated. Don't look at professional players and think, well, that player is playing this, so I'm going to go play that, because that is simply not the way it works. Leave a like on the video if you've been enjoying the content that we put out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, everyone.